Very Bonnaroo, babe.
I know.
I mean, very Bonnaroo.
I'm sorry. Why not? Ready?
Not yet.
It's not going to be enough.
Hello, Bruno. Hello, Ib. We're a day late.
And $1 short.
$1 short. Hello, Kyra. Hello, Stronger and Wiser. Hello, Elizabeth Estrada, not to be confused with Liz Key or Elizabeth Betts. There are 3 different people. Hello, Adri, Tiffany, Susan, Morgan.
Oh, wait till Alan's ready to go.
Sarah, I did not Jeep the listener. And Sarah, I did receive your electronic text communication. I have not responded to said communication, but I will. Hello, Hunter Herb. Hello, beautiful people.
About what?
Hello, Sin Galvan. Something that we got working. None of you old beeswax. Hello, Charles. Tommy Jean.
Hey, Tommy Jean.
Updates on the internet, Bruno. I got kids yelling at me about it. I'm $92 lighter this month, so no update. That's kind of par for the course. Hello, Chelsea. Hello, Stronger and Wiser. Hello, Taylor. Hello, Jennifer Shashevsky. Hello, Leah. You can send if you want to. I have some anecdotal information in my noodle. Hello, Angelique Boone. Where's Mike Boone? Usually following Angelique Boone is Mike Boone very closely. What?
Nothing.
Oh. There, what did I tell you? Like clockwork, my man. Broken bread with my man. That makes him presidential. Hello, Kara. Oh, Kara, I think I said hello to you earlier, but that's okay. Hello, Susan from Tulsa.
Should have brushed my teeth.
Frontier of 500 Mbps for 50. I'm going to go back to those knuckleheads. I'm going to be like, look, you guys are rooking me. Absolutely.
Well, you're not happy with our connection anyway. Are you?
Well, not seriously. Hello, Jewel.
Every time I log...
There's Liz Key. Hello, Han.
Every time I log on to the... turn on the TV in the middle of the day, it'll say, it's not working, you need to troubleshoot. Which I don't. I just turn it off and turn it on 2 or 3 times until it works.
So I got a message from Sin Galvan right here. See what Sin Galvan says. I sent her a message earlier that said send nudes. Oh, no. Just kidding. Let's see. $55, $85, $50, $120, $80. Okay, this is good show content here. Good show content. We will use this.
All right. Put your earbuds in. Are you going to put your earbuds in?
I'll put them in. I'll put it in. I see you smacking over there, Rasberry.
I'm not
I
smacking.
think I don't see everything. I see everything.
I'm not smacking.
Eyes on the side of my head.
Testing 1, 2. Testing.
We have chitlins in the other room, so I can't be like seriously loud and lewd. Dick Ramdas, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Dick Ramdas, please pick up the red courtesy phone.
All right.
Dick Ramdas.
Okay.
That just hit me funny.
Yeah. Me too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, I could have done Richard Ramdas.
You could have been more subtle.
Like Richard Cranium. Get it, babe.
I've got to do the spot.
Crush them.
Yeah.
Oh, are you crushing them? What is that?
I have to do a spot for Best Fiends.
Oh.
I have to tell what level I'm on.
I thought that
when
looked
I do
like
the
you were
spot.
crushing candy. Oh, no.
It's Best
There's-
Fiends.
Yeah, Best Fiends. Sweet.
All right.
That's one of my favorite spots to do.
I know.
Best Fiends. Get them, babe.
Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans. This is my husband. His name is Alan Evans, and he co-hosts this podcast with me.
Hey, trade in the house.
Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Alan, for being here.
as I've said many times, as if I have a choice.
You do. There's always a choice.
Is there?
I was tempted to maybe do the podcast without you, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that to the audience. I want them to get all of our goodness together.
You aren't going to Jeep the listener?
No.
So here's the deal. I mean, if you're a regular presidential customer of A Sandwich and Some Lovin', you're wondering, where's your Thursday drive?
Exactly.
Where's the Thursday episode?
I considered doing it without you, but then I decided to wait.
Well, Thursday, about push recording button time, I was running kids all over North Texas, from baseball games to sleepovers to getting something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't make sense to try to do one last night.
Yeah. Like I said, it could have been just me yapping for an hour. But
people may have liked that even better. They might have liked that even more.
It might have been, just see what I could come up with on the fly like that.
But if they want to hear you yap for an hour, there's always love letters to Kellie.
Yeah, that's usually more like a tight 30. I don't know. But yeah, I do have another podcast. Thanks for that plug. Love Letters to Kellie, the podcast, drops every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central if you'd like to check that out. A Sandwich and Some Lovin' normally drops on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, but we're a little late this week due to baseball.
Do you ever Jeep the listener on Love Letters?
No.
You've hit every time?
I think we're taking off 4th of July week.
I know, but you've hit like every time you're supposed to drop, you've made a podcast?
I'm almost positive.
Really?
Unless we're taking off for a holiday.
I'd say 90% of the time, we're pretty good. No, I think if you go back and look at all of them, I think we've only Jeeped the listener.
Well, there was that time.
1 out of 10 times.
Maybe 1 out of 10. That's pretty high ranking.
Have you ever listened to the Black Planter?
They don't even do that anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about everybody else. Thank y'all for joining us for this podcast. If you joined us the last podcast, Alan griped quite a bit about our cable.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I did.
Why don't you? What?
Oh.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Well, I don't know. Usually when we get on here and talk about griping, it's usually in relation to you.
Why are you turning on me?
No, it was just unusual for you to say that I was griping about something.
Our cable bill.
I guess I do gripe because I gripe about Starbucks a lot. I gripe about customer service a lot.
Yeah, why are you trying to make me look bad?
Maybe I just gripe in general.
You and Kid Craddock have that in common. Y'all both always try to make me look bad. Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of people to this day still don't think I like to hug or that I don't like listeners because of that. Because he would tell people. I'm just saying, he had put that idea in people's heads and they still believe that. And the man's been gone. This July will be, he died in 2013, 9 years.
Well, I don't want to have that in common.
I'm just saying, you're making me look bad. I didn't even get my sentence out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was trying to say Alan was griping about our cable bill.
You always interrupt Kellie. Yeah, I was.
And we had a lot of listener input.
We did.
And Alan's going to maybe get to some of that.
He is. Yeah, I am. I've got a lot of listener input. I'm getting rooked just today on the way home from wherever baseball practice I was going to.
So there's going to be that.
I get a nasty gram from Cole saying, you need to do something about this internet. This is unacceptable or something.
Right. So we'll get to that.
I'm sorry, bud. I'll fix it.
Yeah, and Alan's going to tell it. He said he's been saving a story from the baseball game. He hasn't even told me yet.
Yeah,
he's going to tell it to me on the podcast. So we'll all be hearing that.
I want to get your virgin reaction, your fresh reaction.
And then I came across, BuzzFeed does have some pretty fun stuff every once in a while. I don't like that. If you take a quiz, it'll tell you what kind of Starbucks order you would be, that kind of stuff. If you take this quiz, it'll tell you what Disney character you would be. No, but every once in a while, they just ask for their followers' feedback. And I came across one that hit so close to home. It's geared toward people who grew up in extremely religious households, such as myself. I talked about it before. I went to the Florence Baptist Temple in Florence, South Carolina. It was an independent, fundamental, hellfire and brimstone, Bible-believing church. And I went to the church's school, Florence Christian School. And this isn't going to be bashing or anything. This is just going to be talking about some of the things that I kind of was taught when I was younger. Let me tell you, they have softened up a little bit since I graduated from Florida Christian School, but it was kind of funny to read some other people's experiences growing up and what they were told was a sin. Okay, so that's what we're going to kind of dive into, which can be kind of fun.
That should be fun.
I hope so.
Like a tabernacle? Is that where you went?
No, I went to Florence Baptist Temple.
Is that a tabernacle?
No.
I have a friend who he went to church in a tabernacle when he was growing up.
Well, is the tabernacle just the name of the place, or was it like soaring ceilings with glass windows and big pipe organs? That's what I consider to be a tabernacle.
I don't know, but I think it was
like the Mormon tabernacle choir.
I'm
it's
not
that
sure.
big. But I mean, I think there's some churches that are called tabernacles, but they're just.
I think it was the kind of place they bring in pythons and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that was probably. Now I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to go on the wrong religion, but that's not Church of Christ, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, y'all, I don't.
I don't know.
Where they run the pews and handle the snakes and stuff and speak in tongues. Now, my granddaddy Rasberry did speak in tongues.
Mm-hmm.
He did, but we were taught that was the language of angels.
Mm.
So
Okay.
when he'd get really fired up, we'd hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I have learned, they tell you a lot when you go to, I don't know, maybe therapy, or you watch some of these talk shows with, like Oprah or the next Oprah 2.0, or you read a self-help book.
2.0.
Well, you have the people that go and try to repeat Oprah's, methodology, success.
Oh,
with passing on feel-good stuff.
Like Montel?
No, honey, he's been gone forever.
He has?
Hasn't been, yeah.
What about Ricky
Maury
Lake?
Povich is getting ready to retire as
Get
well.
out of, is Ricky Lake still with us?
She's alive. They just don't do their talk shows. I'm not implying they're dead.
Oh.
They're just not doing the talk shows anymore.
Okay.
But here's what I found to be a resounding theme from a lot of self-help gurus and therapy sessions.
Mm-hmm.
They try to teach you that happiness only comes from within. And I have to disagree with that, because sometimes happiness comes from things externally.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that brings me happiness, if I'm feeling down, I need a little pick me up, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, I need a brain break, I just pull out my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I do?
I know what you do.
What do I do, babe?
Play a little Best Fiends.
I play a little Best Fiends. Seriously.
Yes.
I have been on fire
you have.
lately with Best Fiends. I don't, you every time you conquer a level, you get a little bit more power. You get a little more cocky too, and you start collecting your cute little characters. And let me tell you, right before we came on the podcast,
Collect them.
I tried to beat level 1093. I didn't make it my first time. You know why?
Why?
Because Jean didn't have enough power. I need to go back and I needed to give Jean a little more juice to help me defeat this level, which is known as Cactus Cubes.
Nice play on words there. That's very punny.
What'd I say?
Gene on juice.
Yeah, he needed some more juice. He needed some more power. I had to use some of my gold bricks that I've been collecting to, give him a little bit more juice. But I think I've given him enough now. And as soon as this podcast is over, because it's going to be all I can think about, I'm going to be so distracted. I'm going to pull out Best Fiends and finish this round and move on to the next level. And here's the one thing I don't have to worry about with Best Fiends, that I'm going to run out of levels, because the people who work at the Best Fiends headquarters, they know there are people out there like me who just know that every day I go to my phone, I fully expect there to be another level for me to conquer.
They're cranking out fresh levels as we speak.
Every day.
As we speak.
I'm getting ready to go on a little vacation with my daughter, and there are going to be times I'm not going to have Wi-Fi, and I'm not even worried, because even without internet connection, even if you have crappy Wi-Fi at home like Alan and I do, I can play Best Fiends even without Wi-Fi. Collect those fiends, get powered up, play more levels, beat the slugs. And like me, you'll know that happiness can also be achieved externally, babe.
Yeah, it can. So download Best Fiends for free from the App Store or Google Play. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Man, if you're just getting started.
Get it, babe. Kill them slugs.
Y'all got a while to go to catch up to me at level 1093, but good luck to you. All right, honey, why don't we go ahead and get your cable stuff out of the way, get that off your chest, and then we'll get to, sending and stuff.
Well, okay, so we're paying $92 plus per month for internet service. And I looked at my bill, It's 150 download, 150 upload.
I don't know what that means.
That's the maximum speed we can get. Okay. It used to be, remember back in the day when you had dial up, it was like 14.4K. Then it went to 28 point something K. And then it went to 56K. That's the speed.
That.
That's the speed.
Okay.
So the higher the number, the faster your internet.
Okay. I can understand that.
You can understand that. So I've been told that 150 is pretty fast. I mean, that's pretty fast internet. You can stream multiple TVs. We got laptops going. We got iPads going. We got phones going. We got all kinds of devices. Well, just lately, it started to get kind of glitchy. And seriously, Cole did text me today while I was out with Dylan. He said, Dad, what's up with the internet? Can you like reboot it when you get home?
All day. It just, like I said, every time you turn it on, it says, troubleshoot or cancel. I always turn it off and turn it back on. I have to do it like 2 or 3 times before I can finally log on to YouTube TV.
Yeah. Now, we do have a fairly sized manor. And I've had to put these repeaters in different areas of the house to boost the signal.
It doesn't matter.
These signal boosters, right?
If I am in our bathroom, forget about it.
No internet in the
Forget about it.
Doing
or
paperwork,
in the tub.
In the tub?
I like to lounge in the tub. I got one of those trays that go off. This is what I asked Alan for Christmas in a very subtle way, I thought. Basically, I told him I want one of those tub trays for Christmas. I didn't get it. So on December 26th, I ordered that tub tray. And so I can prop up my phone, listen to podcasts, always a sandwich and some Lovin first, and then everything else. And, have a glass of wine or stuff. But I can't.
Megapint?
Sometimes. But I can't get internet connection back there in our bathroom.
Okay, so that's another problem, like getting the signal out to the house. The first problem is just like the speed and the cost. So I'm paying $92 for 150 up, 150 down. And I just decided, you know what? I'm going to throw it out to a Sandwich and Some Lovin Nation to give me some feedback on what they pay. And if they're satisfied with their internet, here's what I got. I got 100 Mbps for $50. So that's a little slower, but half the cost about.
But it's slower. We don't want slower.
I don't want slower. I want faster. Some people tell me the cost, but they don't tell me the speed, which isn't helpful. But $55, $85, $50, $120, $80, $50, $56. Here's the best deal, and this came from my man, presidential customer Michael Melkos. He said $56 for 500 Mbps. Unbelievable.
Sounds like a lot.
And that's with AT&T. So how do I get that deal? $62, $64, $105, $50. Well, somebody dimed us with $0. I'm not sure how they get that.
Maybe they don't have TV or internet or cable. Or maybe it's a business expense provided by their boss.
Whoa. We pay $400 for internet, landline, and cable. Well, why are you paying for a landline? That's
Some people still want one.
Okay.
I guess it also depends where you live. If you live out in the boonies, you need a landline.
Okay. Somebody pays $75 with Frontier, but they don't tell me how fast it is. $84 for 100 Mbps in rural South Georgia. So you're paying about what I pay, and it's slower. So I don't know about it, but you say it works good for you. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like people are paying less, and you can find examples of people getting better speed. So I think I'm going to fire Frontier.
Well, I don't mind paying as long as it works. That's my whole issue.
Yes.
Is it's just frustrating.
We got an offer from Spectrum today.
We get a card in the mail every day.
Yeah, we get a card in the mail every day. So, listener, our problem has not been solved. I still have grumpy teenagers in the house. I still have a grumpy wife who gets on me because I just, in case she can't watch Netflix.
I just want to watch My Real Housewives.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So that problem has not been solved, but I appreciate everybody who responded to our survey on our Instagram story. Thank you.
I'm about to start begging you for Peacock again, but somebody told me we can get Peacock for free as long as I'm willing to watch the ads. And I think I'm willing to do that because now they've got the Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip, but it's at Dorinda Medley's place. I'm not a huge Dorinda fan, but I see what she brings to reality TV, and I want to see. I'm not a big fan of Vicky Gunvalson or Tamra Judge. Not any, but I see the value they bring to reality television, and I really want to watch the Ultimate Girl Trip. Oh, girls trip.
You might as well be speaking another language.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, can we please get Peacock back?
That's fine with me.
Thanks.
Hey, Johnny Depp update. Trial's over, but they've set a date for the lawyers to go back.
Tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
By the time you listen to this podcast,
Yeah.
it may be over.
And I think they're going to get instructions for how it's supposed to be paid and all that details.
Well, they're going to have, this is the final chance for them to come to a settlement, an agreement before it is, on the books. This is what Amber owes Johnny, and this is what Johnny owes Amber. So they have one more time to come to an agreement and a settlement.
And you know what?
Before it's put on record.
I think Amber Turd really gave up a lot of leverage in her position by going on NBC and beating her gums and going on there and talking more crap about Johnny Depp.
I think we're going back to the mental health issue here.
Why doesn't she just be quiet?
She can't help herself.
And let the legal, the lawyers handle this. She'll get her punishment and then move forward. But she's out there running her mouth and making this worse. If you're Johnny Depp, do you have any sympathy for saying, well, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to collect all the money now, but really I just want my damages. I'm not going to, I don't want any of the other stuff. I just want my damages. Or just say, you know what, just donate it all to charity. Do you think he is in that headspace right now with what she's done out there on NBC, talking all that crap about him after the trial?
Babe, I'm telling you, I think she's got a mental issue and she cannot help herself. Now, this is just based on, I have no degree or nothing, just from my witness. I don't think she can help herself. She can't stop talking. And, there's this rumor out there that she's going to write a tell-all book, a revenge book, because she has nothing to lose at this point. But what I don't think that's real. I think that's something, because celebrities play games with the tabloids and they float things out there. And I think what she's going to be able to say, or her lawyers will say on her behalf in the courtroom, is, I won't write the tell-all book. I won't say another thing, but this settlement has to go away. And, because she doesn't have the money.
And again,
I'm thinking it's leverage.
What leverage does she have to say that?
But honey, here's the thing.
The jury already ruled.
They did.
Defamation. So
they did.
Where is she? How is she to say, well, if you don't drop it, I'm going to write a book and defame you more?
I mean, but she has nothing to lose. She has no money to give them. They could sue her. I mean, look, the Goldman family, they're still waiting to get paid from O.J. Simpson. So, it's like, sue me all you want, sue me again, take me to court again. I don't have it.
Just because she doesn't have the money doesn't mean that they can't make her life a living hell for the rest of her life.
That's true.
It doesn't matter that she doesn't have the money.
It's going to cost Johnny
to
make her life a living hell.
They can garnish the rest of her wages for the rest of her life.
They could.
So I just don't understand. Seriously, I don't understand why her lawyer and her are going out there and opening their big mouths after the jury has ruled on this matter. It's done. It's over.
Well, apparently it's not. You're still fired up.
I am fired up. And did you notice that Elaine,
her lawyer,
was doing her big media tour?
She quit very quickly after she got started.
Because Judge Penny called her into Judge Penny's quarters. And that was the end of that. I don't know what was said in there. I don't know what happened in there, but that stopped immediately.
Well, I didn't hear about that. I just think she got embarrassed by talk show hosts.
Well, there's that. But Judge Penny also said, you know what? You're going to probably be disbarred if you keep doing this. I'm just guessing. I don't know this for sure.
So you don't know that she got called in by the judge?
I know she got called in by the judge. I'm just guessing that Judge Penny said, look, I don't know what you're doing, but you're discrediting this jury.
Yeah.
You're discrediting this whole process. And, if you don't stop it, you're going to have a big, big problem on your hand. No one in the country is going to hire you now.
Yeah.
But now you're doing this?
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Anyway, there's more Johnny Depp talk.
But then, Jussie Smollett's out there this week.
And what's Juicy doing?
He still says he was attacked. He did not lie.
Isn't that crazy?
But I think they have a lot. Amber and Jussie have a lot in common.
That's crazy.
They want to be believed.
Well, that's fine.
At any cost.
Tell the truth. And then people will believe you.
But I think in their heads, they think they are telling
the truth. If you tell the truth, people will believe you. If you tell a lie, people won't believe you. It's pretty simple.
They believe that they are speaking the truth, Alan. It doesn't make, you know what? I'm not take Jussie and Amber out of this. What I'm about to say is not about Jussie and Amber. But when you're dealing with people who do have a mental illness and things that you might consider are crazy. The thing is you cannot rationalize with that.
That's true.
You cannot wrap your head around, why are you doing that? That doesn't make sense. How can you keep doing this? Because it makes sense in their heads, but because they're not well, you know? And so I think when we try to put rationale and common sense to people that just don't have the ability to do that, they're not capable of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you calmed down now? Whenever Alan gets this fired up, it's on all of us to just
help
him come back down. Put on a little Victor Davis Hanson, your favorite.
Oh, yeah. He calming. It's like listening to my grandpa.
Put on that podcast.
Right.
And it calms Alan down. Send him little positive messages of affirmation. Let him know that while, we agree with you 100%, Alan, you just need to calm down just a little bit.
Me getting my blood pressure all riled up isn't going to help anything?
Just a little bit. No, because I feel like I've just been yelled at.
Really?
I feel like I got in trouble.
You do?
I do.
But you didn't do anything.
You were yelling to me.
Right.
Not necessarily at me.
You've had people do that to you before.
But I still feel like I am in trouble.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I felt this way when part-time Justin
PTJ
spilled sweet, syrupy alcohol beverages all over the Kid Credit morning show.
He spilled it on me before too.
Well, yeah, but he spilled it all over this countertop over some very, very expensive radio equipment the other day. And I felt like I was in trouble. Do you ever have that?
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, it was on the radio, but you don't listen.
When was this?
It was on Tuesday. He does Turn Up Tuesday.
Right, and he always does. This is my favorite drink, right?
Yeah, he did a new one, and it was fancy, and he wanted to do a fancy presentation, so he got these champagne.
Spilled it all over?
He filled these champagne glasses to the very brim, but the base of the champagne glass was a ball and a very, very tiny flat surface. So if you just barely tap the glass, it would fall over. So the minute he set the tray down, the drinks just went splash everywhere.
Why?
And
I have a question. Why?
I don't know. And he just, that moment of like, oh my God, what just happened? And he was frozen and he's just staring at it. I'm like, get paper towels. And we're fussing at him. And I feel bad in that moment for fussing at somebody, but you potentially just cost the company thousands and thousands of dollars in damages, and you could put us off the air. And I feel like I was in trouble.
Okay. How red was Robert? I didn't hear about this. How red was he?
Surprisingly calm. Here's the thing.
Really?
It's really strange. You know how little things people will just rant and rave.
Like me.
But the big things, it's like you get calm.
Right.
Let's take care of the issue here.
Right.
Get some paper towels. Call the engineer in. Check it out.
Oh,
kind of laughing a little bit about it.
Yeah.
They were all as calm as could be. But if one of us maybe went 30 seconds over, we had to go to break at 8:20 and now it's 8:21.
You'd get yelled at.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's like the big things, just like real chill and take charge.
What about ED? Was he in a panic or?
He came in with the paper towels too. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm over here thinking, oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Does anybody else get that passive, it's like you take on the embarrassment. If you see somebody bombing on stage, suddenly you're embarrassed for them.
For sure.
And you're just dying and like, get off the stage. I can't take it anymore. I felt that way with Justin. I knew he was getting in trouble and I was just dying inside. I felt like I was getting in trouble.
So when I make this running joke about Justin spilling drinks on me, it's not a joke because that he has.
No, he really is.
He really
very,
has.
Very clumsy.
He's very clumsy.
Well, it's like I fall all the time.
Yeah. So
he spills all the time.
So when I tell those stories and then I get an off DM or something, you need to be nicer to Justin. Can't believe you say those things about him.
Do you really say that many bad things about him?
He's a nice guy.
He's very nice, very sweet.
I've come on here and said I love Justin. Yeah. But he's clumsy.
He's very clumsy.
He's very clumsy.
I'm
sorry, but he's clumsy.
Y'all forget he threatened my husband.
He threatened me with violence one time. And you know what? I didn't bow up. I didn't go Boda.
You got very calm.
I got very calm. And I said, you know what, Justin? If you want to stick 3 or 4 corn cobs up my ass, I'm not going to let you do that.
Yeah, he was telling Alan, Were we married at the time or about to get
Yes,
married?
we were married.
Were we just married or
yes,
before we got
we
married?
were already married.
Yeah, he was telling Alan he better not hurt me.
Right.
He was a couple cocktails in.
A couple?
But we love Justin.
I love Justin.
But I'm just saying, I was trying to relate the story that I felt like I was in trouble, much like when Alan was just yelling to me. It felt more like he was yelling at me.
Really?
But now we're past that and we're all in a good place. Right?
I was like the Tasmanian devil. Why don't you do a little bit of that, and then we're going to do a little bit of Rangers game talk and something very interesting I noticed about the patrons around me. And we also have some correspondence to go through.
All right. I'd love that. All right. Look, I don't know if you caught, I did a little unboxing video that you can see on our YouTube channel for a sandwich and some Lovin, opening up my Thrive Market box. Now, I did have to admit that when I went shopping for my latest Thrive shopping trip, I was apparently very hungry and I ordered nothing but like food, but it was crazy. And my daughter actually came to me. She said, Mom, get more of those turkey sticks because she loved them because our family is into like meat sticks all of a sudden. They're real easy to grab. You don't have to worry like if you're heading out to the park or whatever to refrigerate them or anything. So she had one and she's like, I love them, order more. So when I'm looking for healthy things, healthy snacks for our kids, and also when I'm looking for non-toxic cleaning and beauty supplies, all delivered right to my door, I go to Thrive Market. And what I also love is if you find a price lower somewhere else, Thrive Market will match it. The thing about Thrive Market is they carefully vet each and every item so you can trust if Thrive Market sells it, it's probably going to be the highest quality available out there. Finding everything you need is easy on Thrive Market because you can filter by 90 plus values and lifestyles to find what works for you. So you don't have to look up every single item and read the label. Oh, is this going to be vegan friendly? You just type in, I want only vegan products, and that's what pops up for you. If you're following a gluten-free, again, you don't have to sit there reading all the labels. You type in, I want gluten-free, and all of those items pop up for you. I love Thrive Market. It's made a difference in how my family is snacking, and I feel better about it because, you know, you want them to have not all those horrible chemicals. And Thrive Market has their own line of products that we've been very, very happy with. And when you join Thrive Market, you're joining a community of 1 million plus members, and you're sponsoring a family in need.
So join Thrive Market today and get $80 in free groceries. That's THRIVE market.com/sandwich to get $80 in free groceries. That's thrivemarket.com/sandwich.
Yeah, they got cut off there.
I've told you many times, I Ron Burgundy this stuff.
You really literally read it verbatim.
Verbatim.
Yeah, for some reason that got cut off. But yeah, get that $80 in free groceries. Thrivemarket.com/sandwich.
Here is some hot information right off the press. I have a presidential friend and customer named Mike Boone, who is from Louisiana. He is in the technical field. He says our internet is a contended service, which means, he sent me a text, which means there's a pool of bandwidth shared and contended for by other customers in your service area. I did not know that. 150 Mbps is your committed information rate, which is throttled, and the max you will see. So that's just the max. That's not what you're always going to get. I'm assuming is what he's saying here. There's also a minimum information rate, which is as low as you'll see. It will always be somewhere in between them. You may be able to ask them what the minimum bandwidth information rate is, and you can download an app called Ookla Speed Test, and you can check your speed when you're lagging. Internet talk gives you tired head, like the Shonda Rhimes story gave me tired head.
I don't even need the Calm app. I can just listen to you read that text over and over, and I'll be out like a light.
Right. Now you know how I felt when you told the Shonda Rhimes story.
No, my Shonda Rhimes story killed that text message you just read.
I disagree, and Mike Boone would too disagree. Okay, let's move on to another letter. This letter is from. Are we gonna do letters, or are we gonna do Rangers talk?
Whatever, honey.
What do you prefer?
This is you.
What do you prefer?
You're steering this part of the ship.
Well, what do you prefer?
I'll steer the back part of the ship. You steer the front part.
Okay. This message is from Tanya. Tanya, we met at the restaurant. She came with her very tall and very, very wonderful companion. I think they were married. Tyler.
Yes, they were.
Tyler, yeah. Hi, Kellie and Alan. I empathize with Kellie about the canker sores inside the mouth. I have suffered with these since I was a kid. They always occur during times of stress.
Yep.
And as a teacher, it's always stressful.
Yep.
About 6 years ago, my doctor prescribed medicine that changed my life. It helps me clear up the canker sore within about 1 day.
That's amazing.
Unlike the weeks it would sometimes take to heal, especially if I take it at the earliest signs. It's called, I suck at these names. Acyclovir? Acyclovir?
I'd say acyclovir if I had to guess.
Acyclovir?
800 milligrams.
800 mg. Okay. Big old horse pill. Many people take this for cold sores on the outside of the mouth.
That would be the herpes virus, would it not?
Well, you got to change your voice, which I don't usually get, but apparently it works on the inside canker sores. Anyway, maybe it will be helpful to you, Kellie. Maybe not.
I'll tell you.
Just wanted to share because I share your pain. Sincerely, Tanya.
It's really bad. Alan bit his tongue. Did it ever develop into a canker sore over it?
It didn't, but just today is the first day it's felt normal.
That's good.
And now I have another ailment. I have I have a list of ailments. I went fishing with Dylan at our little honey hole Frisco pond.
Yeah.
And I came back with chigger bites all over my ankles, my thighs. Dylan has them around his waist and his back.
Oh my.
And he said he had one on his butt too.
Yeah, you got into a nest of them. I remember when I went to...
They're all over me.
Yeah, I went up to the beach when I was a little girl. I apparently sat in a nest of them, and they were all behind my knee. And it was really itchy, bad, and welty and gross. Everybody says to put clear nail polish on them, but I don't think that's...
Yeah, but have you ever got one on your balls?
Well, honey, I don't have balls.
Yes, I understand.
So the answer to any question you ask me regarding my balls is going to be no.
You should just say these nuts.
I don't have those either.
That is an itchy spot to get on. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. I've been bit by a mosquito. I'm not doing a bit. I have been bitten on the testicle by a mosquito.
How did it get in your pants?
I don't know.
Were you sleeping nude outdoors?
That's a great question.
Are you sure it was a mosquito?
This next letter is from Mary. Mary, subject, sponsors. Good eye, cute people, cute couple. Sorry. I often listen to the podcast and hear sponsors I'd like to support. But when the time comes, I can't remember the Webby or proper name of the company. I suffer from CRS. Can't remember shit.
Girl.
And Hashimoto's. And wondered if there's a running list of your podcast sponsors. I truly appreciate your humor, relationship, and oaked BBQ. Love to you both. Mary.
Yes, Mary.
We have a page on our website. It isn't updated.
Well, it doesn't have to be on the website. All you have to do is in the podcast description.
There you go.
For each episode.
Yep.
When I do, I write up I used to write a lot longer descriptions, but I'm like, nobody's sitting here reading these entire podcast descriptions. So I kind of shortened those up a good bit, but I always list and thank the podcast sponsors for that episode. So all you need to do is wherever you listen to the podcast, just scroll down a little bit on that episode's notes. You can go back to past podcasts, but here's the problem. You might be listening. We've been doing this podcast for over 5 years. So you may go back to those earlier podcasts and the codes won't be valid anymore. But
try them though.
Try them.
They still may be valid.
They might still be valid. But the more recent podcasts, if you ever like, oh my gosh, I forgot, and it might be hard. You might be like, oh, I don't remember which podcast it was. I know it was in the past month. Just scroll through the notes. You don't have to listen to the podcast, but they'll all be listed there.
Okay. This next letter is from Chelsea. Subject, content idea.
Oh, I love that.
She's pulling a Andrea Dowling Gullidge on us here.
That would be, you'd be producing the podcast.
Hey, Alan and Kellie. I had an idea for some podcast content. I listened to a few different podcasts. Don't worry. Y'all are still my number one.
Thank you.
And they sometimes ask their listeners to write in on different topics. It's so entertaining to hear these different stories, but it also fills a lot of podcast time for you as well. Some topic ideas I've heard to write in about are a crazy ghost encounter.
I know which podcast you're listening to.
Christmas or Thanksgiving fails. Your most embarrassing moment. Pooping in public. Gone wrong.
Yeah.
You get the idea. I thought this might help if there's a week you just don't feel like talking. Love you both so good. Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea.
We've covered off on, I think, all of those.
Well, what I do sometimes, and I need to do it again, is I love that idea, Chelsea, and thank you for reminding me.
Yes, thank you, Chelsea.
But I'll go to my Instagram and I will post questions, and then we'll use those on a podcast. But thank you, because I can use some of those topics we have maybe not covered yet. But yeah, I'm open to many and all suggestions.
Okay.
You debating on holding that one to another week?
Well,
it's kind of long.
Well, you want to? Can you do that? You just did that? Okay. Well, why don't we? Well, I don't know what to do. I'm panicking.
Can start telling your baseball story.
I'm panicking.
Tell your baseball story.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hold these. That's it's enough listener correspondence for this. Let's hold these. And so I took Cole and Dill and my mom and dad and Cole's buddy that went with us to the lake. Same buddy. Christian. We went to a Rangers game on Wednesday, and the Rangers were playing the Philadelphia Phillies. And Kellie picked out the seats for us. I just told her kind of where we wanted to sit, and Kellie was very helpful, and she's good on these ticket apps and stuff that give me tired heads. She went in there.
He's complimenting me because he doesn't want to do it.
I don't like to do that. She's really good at it. She bought the tickets. She got the parking pass, and really great seats. We were in the new Globe Life Stadium, which, if you're not familiar, is the Rangers' fairly new baseball stadium that is now covered and air conditioned. Which is a big deal in Texas.
They had to do that because I think it was affecting the talent they were able to attract as well. Because who wants to play on a team that plays when it's literally today at like 6:00 at night? It was 101 degrees still.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I went to several games in the old Arlington Stadium.
It's brutal.
And then a lot of games at the ballpark in Arlington, which is now Choctaw Stadium.
Yeah.
And it was brutal.
Really
absolutely brutal. You're basically sitting in a frying pan for 3 hours. Yeah.
But I remember one time I got Alan and his dad and the kids for Father's Day. I got them tickets to the ball game. And of course, you notice I'm not there. I'm like, y'all go. It's your time. And I went online and specifically said, what is the best place to sit where you're not facing the setting sun? And guess what tickets I bought for them? Sitting directly in the setting sun. I was horrified. I went to all that trouble trying to get you not sitting facing the setting sun.
We were seriously wanting to leave during the third inning. And that game, coincidentally, that game that Kellie's talking about, it set a Rangers record for time. It was an over 4.5 hour game.
On Father's Day.
Yeah. It was the longest professional game I've ever been to.
And of course, I think it was cold. It's like, I don't want to go. I want to stay for all of it. Oh, it was awful. I'm so sorry.
No. So anyway, this game was great. 70, and they even said at the beginning of the game, babe, the announcer said, welcome to Rangers Globe Life Stadium. We're outside. It is 101 degrees with a heat index of 110. Inside Globe Life, it is a balmy 72 degrees. Everyone goes, yeah! So that was fun.
How about them dollar hot dogs?
Dollar hot dog day. So
that was the most pathetic looking wiener I've ever seen.
I get that a lot.
Seriously. I'm like, I get it. You got to just churn out them dogs. Mm-hmm. But did they even bother cooking it? It looked like a raw wiener sitting in that bun. It was just it was sad.
It was cooked. But yeah, these are the kind like when you go to the grocery store, just not an all beef, not a 1/4 pound beef, just your standard hot dog. Like I imagine these came out of a package and on the package, it just said
generic
hot dog. It just said hot dog.
And it was just sad.
It was a little sad.
But hey,
all crinkled up bun, but the bun was soft and the hot dog was cooked.
Well, there you go.
So I roll up to the counter, sandwiching some Lovin Nation. She goes, "Are you Alan?" And I'm like, "Indeed I am." She goes, "I love the podcast." I'm like, "Thank you."
And here I am criticizing her wieners.
Yeah, criticizing her wieners.
I am.
She goes, "How many you?"
Well, the picture you posted was a sad looking wiener.
She goes, "How many wieners you want?" I said, "How many wieners you got?" She goes, "I got 22." And I said, "I don't want 22. I want 10. Slap down a sawbuck. She gives me 10 wieners. $10 for 10 wieners.
That was tax included?
No, I bought some other stuff,
Oh.
but $10, 10 wieners. We knocked those down. Rangers played a good game. They beat the Phillies. It was a well-played game. It was a lot better than the one we went to last year. But here's what I wanted to bring up on the podcast. So my family, we're all sitting in a row, okay? All of us in one big row. And we're in the middle of the stadium, so there's people around us, in front of us, behind us. In front of us, there were 2 seats unoccupied right in front of me and the boys. And my parents were to my left. All the boys were to my right. So about the second or third inning, a couple comes in. And if I can describe said couple, one man was a big, burly guy.
Works out a lot?
Yeah, big, strong guy.
Yeah.
Kind of had mutton chops. Looked like he might be a biker.
Wow.
He's a big dude. And he had on a Rangers cap. He had Ranger stuff on. He was looking right. He had a jersey on. Accompanying him was a young female with an hourglass shape, and on her very, very, very short shorts.
More like denim panties.
They were black denim panties, and on the back it said "Juicy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making a comeback.
Yeah. And she had like a half shirt on and just bounce with me, bounce with me, bounce with me, bounce with me. Yeah, just out there.
She's on display.
Yes. And then she had the Rangers cap on. I'm trying to paint a visual picture. She had a Rangers cap on, and all her hair was coming straight out of the back of the cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was down past her real long hair.
Yeah.
So
it takes a long time to grow that much hair.
So they plot down, and they're both double fisting it. She has, I couldn't tell if it was whiskey or if it was wine in a plastic cup, probably wine. And then she had a beer. He had a beer, and he had wine or whiskey.
Wow.
So they were double fisted. So I'm thinking there could be some flagrante delicto happening right here in front of my boys before this game.
Flagrante delicto?
Yes.
What does that mean? Flagrant
sexual relations.
Oh my goodness. No. Why would you think that?
Because just their air about them. So
they could just be like just gonna enjoy the game and their cocktails.
Can I finish my story?
So you're setting the stage that you knew what was gonna happen.
So she's doing the bit, babe. She would not stop touching her hair.
Well, with that much hair,
she kept doing this and the where you grab it and do this and
pull it out.
I was like, I'm trying to watch the game, and it's just
a lot.
It's wearing me out, And then, which makes me really doubly uncomfortable, they start taking a gazillion selfies.
Yeah.
So he's hanging on her. She puts the beer bottle in between the globes. And then, so I'm trying not to look.
Are your boys looking?
Well, Dylan was sitting on my lap. So they're taking a selfie. And if you can imagine, I'm right behind them. So it's like she's taking these kind of, not sexual, what am I trying to say?
Flirty?
Yeah, she's having a good time with her boyfriend. But it was like beer between her boobs, lots of hair flipping. He's kissing on her. She's very, very much visually enhanced. And I'm in probably several of their selfies. It was just weird.
Were you making that face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
ruining their selfie, Alan.
Well, they took probably 500 selfies.
Well, maybe they got one without you making that squishy face.
Right. So we had that going on. I don't know if the boys were watching.
They never said a word?
They never said anything.
Did your parents notice?
I think my dad did. I don't think my mom did too.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Unlike you, that face.
Right. So they were down there basically doing that.
Right.
Okay. Behind us,
there's more?
There were 4 adults. These 4 adults almost had the entire row because I think they had 9 toddlers with them.
Oh my.
And every toddler had a seat. But the thing about toddlers at a baseball game is, especially when there's 9 of them, they don't sit in their seat.
No.
So the parents don't sit behind us. They sit way on the end. So the seats behind us, like I'm exaggerating, but maybe like the 6 seats behind us were all toddlers.
Just playing and hanging out,
well,
knocking you in the head.
Kicking the chair in front of us, hanging on the chairs, doing what toddlers do.
Yeah.
So I've got this action going on in front of me. and then this action going on behind me. And I'm just trying to watch a baseball game and eat my dollar weenie. That's all you got? No sympathy?
I'm sorry for you, but is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story, and it's better than any Big Al stories. Don't give me that.
I'm just waiting for what was the resolution?
There was
the conclusion.
There was no resolution or conclusion, but I did.
It just is what it was.
Well, I got up and said, boys, let's go hunt for some souvenirs. So me and the boys got up to get out of this mess. We go looking for some souvenirs. We round a corner, and there were these two just almost going after it, because we took a wrong turn and we're going the direction where there's nothing. It's like a dead end.
Right.
There's no elevators, no escalators, nothing, no shops. But you know how I am with directions. I don't know where the hell.
You're the worst.
I don't know where the hell I am.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Right. So I'm just walking around the stadium, and then I turn this corner. I'm like, whoa! And then I quickly turn around. I'm like, the boys are like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing's going
They
on.
were going at it fighting or like making out?
Like
Making out?
yeah, but like
really making out.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think there'd be a time and
At
place?
the Rangers
Yeah,
game
yeah.
in the freaking hallway.
Yeah, that's not appropriate.
Well, I mean,
You could have been that guy and gone and gotten security.
well, I didn't do that. And I certainly didn't say, oh, excuse me. I just was like, oh, and I just turned around and went the other way.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I've got a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And I'm like, well, let's go this way, guys. And they're over there with tongues eating down each other's throats.
Wow.
Throats.
I miss those days, don't you?
No.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah.
So I wonder if they had to pay for each of those toddlers to get in.
I don't know, but these were little kids, babe. Not infants.
Yeah,
but they were
but
toddlers.
they each had a seat. I'm wondering, they pay? Because I know how much we pay for those seats.
Because they wouldn't sit down. They would not sit down.
So you're saying you didn't have a good time?
No, we had a great time. No, we really did. We really had a great time. It was a wonderful game. You know how I always embellish a little bit, but there were 6 toddlers behind us.
I believe you.
And there was a woman in front of me.
Flipping her hair and getting in your wing. Did her hair get in your hot dog? Did it? I'd be really ticked. Especially if, like, they have the beverages where you put your cup behind somebody and they flip their hair and their hair lands in your drink.
Her hair didn't get in my hot dog, but I mean,
It just annoyed. She just annoyed you.
Yeah, I was taking a look at him. I was whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry about that, honey.
Well, I just thought if the boys see her with a beer bottle between her boobs, what are they going to ask me, like, what she's doing, and then is her boyfriend going to hear, and then like, what do I say?
Yeah, and then sometimes when people are embarrassed, like if your kid did say something, that embarrassment turns to anger and they get real defensive, and then it could get bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and this
sometimes
guy.
It's better not to say anything.
And this guy
hope the boys didn't see it.
This guy was the human room divider. I mean, I wasn't gonna. Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that mess.
Yeah,
I was home, and what was I doing while y'all were at the game? I have no idea. What was I doing?
Sleeping? I don't know. What were you doing?
I can't remember. Did I walk the dogs? Probably.
I think you did.
I think I walked the dogs.
Yeah.
And took a shower. I think that's what I did.
Took a shower.
All right, listen. I'm going to get to the part about sinning in a second. I know you're all just like hanging on pins and needles right now. But those big wireless providers, you know what I'm talking about. They forget that families come in all shapes and sizes. That's why Mint Mobile decided to shake up the wireless industry with their brand new modern family plan. Those people with all those toddlers behind you, they're going to want to pay attention when those kids get old enough to have phones, because each line starts at just $15 a month. And you only need 2 lines to get started. No matter how big or how small your family is, you deserve to save on your wireless service. And listen, you're not skipping on quality with Mint Mobile Wireless. And for anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers wireless. Like I said, Alan, $15 a month. You're complaining about cable bills. You can't complain about this bill.
You can't complain about that rate.
Mint Mobile gives you the best rate, whether you're buying for one or for a family. And at Mint, families start, like I said, at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, Mint Mobile's Modern Family plan lets you mix and match data plans, so everyone gets the amount of data that's right for them. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just, let me repeat this again. This is huge. $15 a month.
That is huge. And to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, including the Modern Family plan, go to mintmobile.com/sandwich. That's mintmobile.com/sandwich. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/sandwich.
Man, that's a low phone bill. Mint Mobile, you did a good job with that.
$15 a month.
All right, so I Reddit, Buzzfeed, they have all these. This is actually, I said Buzzfeed earlier. This is actually a Reddit column. I get them too confused. But with Reddit, I'm not like a Reddit deep diver. Some people go really dark into Reddit. You can get really some like crazy stuff. But somebody just decided to post, and they asked people who grew up with extremely religious parents, what were some of the dumb things that they claimed were sins? And that's how the question was posed.
Okay.
Now, you might say, well, that wasn't dumb. That was kind of a rude way to pose it. But there were some things that were, I was reading through some of the responses. I'm like, well, yeah, I had to do that too. Because, a lot of people grow up with zero church, some church light. I grew up in the church. I mean, like, I was there every time the doors were opened. I went to the church's school. We had Bible class every day, chapel on Wednesdays. We had Wednesday night prayer meeting. Friday night, we'd have youth activities where we invite kids to come, and the gospel was always presented. We go out on Saturday visitation to invite people to church on Sunday, Sunday school, Sunday morning service, and Sunday night service. That was my life growing up.
So you weren't drinking beer and cow tipping like we were doing
Absolutely
in
not.
Wichita Falls, USA, huh?
Absolutely not. I went to church camp. I did it all. And I was very, very happy. I don't want anybody to feel like I was oppressed. I was very happy in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look back now, I was like, wow, everything was really strict.
Because that's what you knew.
It was what I knew.
That's all you knew.
It was what I knew. So anyway, here are some of the most upvoted stories that were on Reddit. It says, I wasn't allowed to watch He-Man because He-Man says, I have the power and only God has the power.
I loved He-Man.
Now, see, you're laughing at that, but see, that I can relate to that. My parents didn't have a problem with that, but I was a cheerleader, and we were not allowed to say we're number one because God is number one.
It was a toy. It was a cartoon.
But I'm just saying, I can relate to that.
Okay.
We weren't allowed to say we're number one. They couldn't watch it because He-Man said, I have the power when God has the power. So I could relate to that one.
So all the people rooting for their college football teams, they were heathens then, huh?
Well, we just weren't allowed to, when we cheer, we couldn't say we were number one. Now, I don't know if that's the case now at Florence Christian School, but let me tell you, in the early 1980s, that was the case. And also, what else was I going to say there? Oh, my parents wouldn't let me watch Three's Company because it was
kind of lewd.
Well, they just knew it was two women living with a man.
There's a lot of,
and the man pretended he was gay.
There's a lot of gay humor too.
Well, yeah, he was pretending he was gay because his landlords wouldn't let men and women live together.
Right.
And my parents didn't want me to see men and women living together.
That was the running joke.
And I knew another kid that his parents wouldn't let him watch Bewitched because it was about witchcraft. That keeps going on with some of these other Reddit ones.
Devil stuff.
Number 2, this person said, I got my Pokemon games and cards taken away after my parents found out that Pokemon evolve. They did not want me to grow up believing in evolution.
I wouldn't get that from Pokemon, but
that's what they're saying. This was an extremely religious household.
Okay.
Number 3, if you thought about sinning, you may as well have done it. That's from the Bible, because they say if you believe it in your heart, like if you commit adultery in your heart, you've already committed adultery. If you lust after someone, so that's the idea. Where if you've already sinned in your heart, you might as well have already sinned, right? Committed the act.
I sinned at the Rangers game then. Yeah.
So if you thought about sinning, you may as well have done it. So I would, for example, get punished and have to beg forgiveness just because I looked at the cookie jar after I'd been told I couldn't have one. So if the mom said you can't have a cookie and the kid looks at the cookie jar, they get punished because you're lusting after a cookie, basically. What? They could decide at random what they were convinced was going on in my head.
That's hardcore.
Yeah. I could relate to that.
That seems like that'd mess with your head.
I was also taught that I wasn't allowed to say, we were taught that hating someone is equal to murder. So if you said you hated someone, you might as well be murdering them. So I wouldn't say I hated someone for a long time. That didn't necessarily always come from my preacher. That just came from other, because we'd have visiting pastors and things like that. Number 4, coming home to find my Pikachu stuffed animal's ears cut off to 1/3 length and sewed at the new ends, since the old ears were too long and were basically the devil's horns.
What is the deal with all the Pokemon?
I'm telling you. Number 5, listening to secular music.
What's that?
Rock music, secular. Secular is anything that's not Christian.
Oh.
I found an alarm clock that played radio stations, and my brother and I would trade off nights sleeping with it under our pillows so we could listen to the latest grunge music. Also, Halloween was a sin, and we had to sit in the house with the lights off. Now, I do know a lot of religious families do not celebrate Halloween because it's celebrating devil. There's a lot of like creepy devil stuff that go on there.
In Halloween?
Like the masks and things, and the witches and satanic
blood
stuff,
and gore
right?
And stuff.
Yeah, but my parents let us participate in Halloween. Now at Florence Christian School, they used to have a huge fundraiser for the senior trip, which was a haunted house. It was one of the scariest haunted houses you've ever been in your life. But then one day the preacher realized, this is like, we're doing zombies and scaring people and murder and stuff like that. So they stopped right the year we were old enough to be in the haunted house, work the haunted house. We were so excited. They turned it into a carnival. We had to do carnival games. I was so disappointed. Number 6, I did not grow up with religious parents, but living in the South, all my friends' parents were. And I remember being around 10 years old, and I was eating breakfast after spending the night at my friend's place. We started talking about Harry Potter, and his mom loses it, saying magic is Satan's work and do not talk about that evil stuff in her house.
I thought he was a wizard.
Well, it's magic, and magic is of the devil, Alan.
Magic is of the devil?
That's what you weren't even listening to what I just said.
No, I've heard that before.
Number 7, when I was reading The Hunger Games in middle school, I described a scene where the main characters were attacked by dogs that looked like their fallen competitors. I don't know if that was it. It was pretty wild. It's been 10 years since I've read it. My mom frowned and said, that goes against everything we believe in. And to this day, I have no idea what she meant. That goes against everything we believe in.
Yeah, I'm not tracking with that one either.
Number 8, I grew up being told that science and scientists were wrong and that I should not listen to anything they said.
I don't know about that one.
I don't think all scientists are wrong, but I do have a question about how old they think the earth is, right? Because they'll say stuff is billions of years old. I'm like, I don't really agree with that. Because, I believe that God spoke things into existence. A lot of people believe in the Big Bang Theory. I don't believe in that. I believe that God spoke and it was so. That's my religious belief. And so when they say things are like bazillion years old, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You'd have to talk to a scientist about that.
Number 9, I wasn't allowed to chew gum because it was sexual.
Well, then eating would be sexual.
I'm just telling you. Number 10, my dad is the religious one, not my mom, for reference. But for Halloween, my mom found my cat's favorite cat treats relabeled as Tasty Human and discounted for Halloween. So it was like a joke. The manufacturers took cat treats and said Tasty Human to give your cat. So you think you're feeding them humans. It was a Halloween gimmick. My mom, rightfully so, thought this was hilarious and bought some. After all, it was exactly what she was looking for, half off and in season. So why not? My dad saw it and immediately started saying how sinful cat treats are and how we are worshiping the devil.
This is amazing.
This is what people grow up with, honey. And I did a little bit. Number 11, watching people kiss on TV. My mom would often claim that crows would eat my eyes in hell for watching people kiss on TV.
What about rounding the corner and seeing people with their hands down each other's pants?
I know, right? Number 12, meditating or pretending to meditate. I can relate with this one. A lot of like really religious people do not believe in doing yoga or any of that stuff.
It's good for your muscles and stretching.
No, it's about the third eye and the meditating and the ohms and stuff and how you're going.
What does that mean?
That's part of yoga and transcendental meditation.
Not any yoga class I've ever been to.
I have been to a yoga class where they make you do your third. I don't do it. They make you put your third eye and you go, I don't do that.
I thought your third eye was your brown eye.
The third eye is in the middle of your forehead.
I thought it was somewhere else.
Anyway, meditating is supposed to like open you up to all this dark stuff. Anyway.
Like what?
I'm just telling you, Alan, what religious people believe. Don't challenge me on every one. I'm just telling you how it was.
I just want to know.
I'm telling you, they're saying it opens you up to a spiritual realm you're not supposed to mess with.
I want answers.
I'm telling you.
I don't want a bunch of questions.
But you're arguing and debating me on each one, and I cannot debate you. I'm just telling you how it was.
I'm a master debater.
It's opening you up to a spiritual realm and to things you shouldn't mess with.
What about third eye blind?
Meditating or pretending to meditate. The Lion King just came out and someone pretended to be Rafiki meditating. We all got real big lecture on the evils of meditating or pretending to. What really is strange to me, though, is the Bible actually says to meditate on the Lord and pray. Number 13.
They weren't okay with the meditating, but they were okay with a talking Rafiki.
My mom was terrified I would accidentally summon a demon playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know how you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Yu-Gi-Oh?
I have no idea.
Number 14, worrying. My mom swore that worrying meant you did not trust God. A great thing to say to a kid with anxiety disorder. I've been taught that worrying is a sin because you're supposed to believe that God's
worrying is a sin.
Worrying, I have heard that in not necessarily from where I grew up, but I'm saying I've heard other pastors say that it is a sin to worry because you should put your trust in God that God's got this. So that makes it a sin, and you're doubting God's ability to take care of things. Let's skip that one. Number 17. So many things, but this one's my favorite. Paleontologists. The idea is that dinosaurs never actually existed, and paleontologists just plant fossils and bones to steer people away from the truth. Clearly the work of the devil. So I have heard some churches do not believe that dinosaurs ever existed, but then other religions believe they were wiped out either from a meteor crashing to Earth or in the flood because they were too big to fit on the ark. That's what some people believe in their religions.
Yeah, everybody believes something different.
In middle school, my friend had religious parents who helped run a church. One day we were talking about superheroes, and I asked him what his favorite superhero was. He told me he wasn't allowed to watch superhero movies because God is the only hero, going back to He-Man having the power.
Okay. So give it to God, don't give it to Superman.
A friend's wife once got into some religious thing where anything of beauty was satanic. Flowers, scenery, anything beautiful. Satan is luring you with beauty.
Really?
That sounds cult-like to me because I often look at the beauty of things and I see God in them.
Well,
aren't you ever overwhelmed by...
Maybe there's something to that because those cult leaders, the places they have their people go are always shitholes. There's no beauty there.
Right. You have to live like real humbly and meekly. But I look at like the ocean sometimes. I'm just like, I almost cry. It's so beautiful. Or when you're a really beautiful garden, like our backyard, honey, that you worked so hard. And I could say, God, was really good and kind to us to give us these beautiful things. And Alan, because he did all the work, right?
I'm a sinner, though.
Saved by grace.
Yes.
My dad wouldn't let me watch anything that had magic or monsters because he thought it would let demons into the house. This included Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
he tasted good, and Harry Potter.
A lot of ghost stuff, yeah.
The most ridiculous one was not letting me watch Jessie on the Disney Channel. This had no magic or monsters, but he thought the pet lizard one of the characters had represented the snake that deceived Eve into eating the apple. That's next level.
These blow me away, babe. I just don't have a lot of words for any of this. This is wild.
My sister was refused communion in front of the whole congregation because of her tongue ring.
Oh, wow.
When she stepped up to receive communion, the priest held the chalice away from her and protected it with his other hand and announced she could not receive communion because piercing is a satanic practice.
Is it?
I don't know, but a lot of people believe piercings. Like I know a friend that was super religious and she dreamed she went to heaven and the Lord would not let her in because she had on makeup and pierced ears. And so she never did either one. She never wore, and to this day doesn't wear makeup and never pierced her ears. And a lot of people believe that about tattoos.
Yeah.
You've heard that though, haven't you? That you're not supposed to desecrate your temple.
Have you seen a temple?
I know. I'm just telling you.
They have beautiful art everywhere.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people believe
I know.
that.
I've heard that my body's a temple bullshit, but have you seen a temple? There's art everywhere.
All right. I'm just telling you.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Number 22. I was not allowed to say for Pete's sake, because Peter in the Bible was a disciple. And although it's not as bad as saying, oh my God, it was up there. Yeah, I feel bad every time I say, oh my God. I need to change that.
Yeah.
I got a Rambo playset when I was like 8. It contained a realistic looking Bowie knife and a green Buddha pendant to put around your neck. Because I guess Rambo had one, so it came for the child to wear one too, the same pendant. My grandfather said the Buddha was filled with evil spirits and made me throw it in a fire. But the realistic looking murder knife was totally fine.
Jeez. Oh, God.
Wearing leggings. My mom said I looked like a slut in them. I don't know if that was religious. That was just, you look like you're not wearing pants. Arguing back with my father. Apparently my grandmother, why her of all people, I will never understand, thought I was going straight to hell because I was not honoring my parents. Because that's one of the 10 commandments, to honor your father and mother. One time, I'm almost done. This is my last one, as a matter of fact. One time my wife's cousin was watching Seinfeld. Their grandma, bless her heart, comes in the room, sees Seinfeld on TV and says, turn this off right now. How could you watch this pornography?
It was Seinfeld?
It was Seinfeld.
Well, what were they doing?
I don't know. But, you know, they did have that episode with the nudist. Maybe that was the one they were referring to. Wow. Remember the girl that was naked? He was talking about what you could do naked that was good looking and what you could never do naked and look good doing it.
Yeah. Wow, babe. I'm blown away.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah. That is very interesting.
So
I can see how that would mess you up the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I can see why some people, when they have so many of these really, really strong things, you know, hammered into their heads when they're young, they either completely reject it when they get older.
We know people like that.
Yeah. They're just like, I don't have anything to do with the church. It's like, I still believe in God, but I just, that whole, the trappings of the religion get to them, you know?
Yeah. It's an interesting subject. It really is. I don't mean to make light of it. It's just hard for me to understand any of it.
Right.
You know,
it's like Amber Heard again.
Because
you can't understand why she thinks what she thinks.
Yeah, because that's absolutely not how I grew up. I mean, I grew up in a family that went to church. We went to church every Sunday, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everybody believes something, you know. You got to believe something. That's the one thing about human beings is they have to believe something. You got to put your trust in something.
A lot of people believe that religion was just established to control people. It's been really interesting, you know, if you study this stuff and look into it. They were like, the powers that be create a religion so you could get people to conform and stay in line, and it would keep them out of trouble.
Yeah. I read a book, not to get too deep, but I read a book about some of this. It's on my shelf over there. It's called Homo Deus, but it's a really deep intellectual type of book about the history of human beings and how once a group got bigger than 150 people, it's hard for you to have control over a group, you know? So to get control of that group, everybody has to believe in something.
Right.
Like you got to believe in the same thing so that we all do the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot about that.
It's about controlling the masses.
Yeah. Early civilizations and how they started to work together. So it's very interesting. But I wish this was a subject I knew a lot more about because it is interesting. It's just what you read, those things are some of them, I mean, not to be trite, but they sound silly to me.
But with somebody's core beliefs.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe.
Right.
It's not what I believe.
It's interesting. We all believe what we want to believe.
That's right.
I know what I believe. I believe we've come to the end of another podcast, honey.
I believe we have, babe. You got anything else?
No, I think I've talked long enough.
No, this was good. We had a lot of good stuff here. We talked people making out at Rangers games in juicy pants to people believing He-Man was double stuff.
That's right.
I mean, what other podcast can you get that?
I can't think of another one right now. Hey, we do want to remind you, though, if you do like this podcast, Cindy Galvin's going to be so proud of me.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe. Give us a review. It does help us. I'm sure it helps us somehow. I'm not really quite sure how, but we'd love it if you would do that. Like, subscribe, give it that 5-star review. Make sure you follow us on our social medias. A Sandwich and Some Lovin' actually has an Instagram that Cindy Galvin's been doing a great job keeping updated for us. It's at A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm at Kellie Rasberry on Instagram, at Kellie Rasberry Evans on Facebook.
I'm at the Alonzo 1971 on Instagram. I spend most of my time there. I'm on Facebook too, Alan Evans.
Yeah,
And we did you say the podcast has Instagram?
I did.
Okay.
Again, not listening to me.
Sorry, one of our live studio audience members said, "Wow, this is a long podcast." And I said, "Yeah, we're at 1:10 right now."
Did they have a problem with it?
I'm
Is that a
I'm
complaint?
just telling you what they said.
Okay, if that's a complaint, we'll try to not speak so much the next time.
You know, one of the podcasts that I really love, seriously, I like the longer ones. And then he was getting complaints about going too long. And I'm like, no. I like the longer ones. He's like, well, I'm going to shorten them up now to like 30, 35 minutes because, you know, I've had a few people say that they don't like the.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to shorten it just because a few people say that.
I, pause sometimes and go back and pick it up later. That's what I do with some of my podcasts. But anyway, maybe they just don't want to hear us talk as much as we think they do. Maybe we should shorten it, Alan. I don't know.
Well,
we can discuss that on another podcast.
On that note, love you desperately.
Love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
What are you doing?
I got a frog in my throat.
Love y'all.
I might have to go into Cisco voice. And I'm sure we'll podcast again.
What are you doing? Are you serious?
I'm having a problem. Well, in the immortal words of the great Kellie
come
Reeves,
on. Snap out of it.
life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye. I got a frog in my throat. Ah.
All right. Hey, you can come in. We're done.
Hey, bub. What's up? What are you eating? Here, come here. Come say hi. Here's a rare appearance. By my man. Come here. Here's my man. It's a big guy. Here's the big guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at his hair. Look at his hair. I wish I had hair like this. Look at that real bushy hair. Say hi to everybody. They're right here. See? These are all the people that are watching. This is Cole. Everybody knows Cole. He was getting him something to eat. Cole plays baseball. He's doing football, off-season training during the day. Right, bud? You guys are lifting weights and sprinting. What else are you doing now? You're eating.
Yeah.
You want me to make you something to eat? No?
Okay.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have to stay here. I just wanted you to say hi. Have everybody see you in the flesh. This is the guy right here. There's a big guy. How's the internet? Tell everybody what you think of the internet.
It's great.
Cole always says the internet is too slow, right, buddy?
It's not as slow. It's just
It glitches a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. What grade are you going to be in?
8.
8th grade. 8th grade. I think Dilly wanted me to throw with him. You want to let son throw a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. We can do that. You need anything else? Oh, okay. You're just coming down to say hi?
Yeah.
Okay. There he goes.
Good looking boy.
Yeah, he's not a big camera guy. I mean, he'll tolerate his picture being taken and tolerate like what we just did, but he's not like Dylan where he gets here and will talk to you and stuff, right? I mean, but once Cole likes to talk. Once you get to talking to him, he'll talk, but he's not a big camera dude. I was telling him though, when I was a teenager, I hated anybody pointing a camera at my direction. You can't find a picture of me as a teenager. They don't exist. There's pictures of me as a kid, and then there's pictures of me from like college on. But you will not find hardly any pictures of me as a teenager. There's none in that closet where all the family pictures are. There's none digital. I mean, I'd be in my yearbook at school, and those would be about the only pictures. You know, I just didn't like it. So I don't blame him. Yeah, I try to do that, Kara, because I don't know. I wish when I was a teenager, I had realized that means a lot to your mom and dad, like when you're older, you know? I guess my mom and dad they never say anything about it. They have a family portrait of us that we took at Sears, I think. and I might have been a teenager. No, I might have been in my early 20s then. There's a few pictures of all of us together when I was younger, but they would have been like studio things. But, with the camera phones now, we can just take so many pictures, and I think someday I'll be glad I have them.
What was the second letter you read about in the one was about the canker sores? What was the other one?
Canker sores, podcast content, and podcast sponsors. All right, peeps. I'm gonna go while it's cool now. Go throw a couple of baseballs with the boys out front. So I will talk to you guys soon. You got anything?
No, I'm just trying. Oh, we need a title for the podcast.
Huge. It's huge. A sandwich and some sexy baseball. A sandwich and some Elizabeth. That's crazy. Elizabeth's brother's name is Dylan Cole. How about
How
that?
about that? Hi, sweet baby. I love you so much. You didn't get a WALK today. It's been too HOT today, hasn't it? You want to go out? We can go. I'll take you. I'll take you.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Bye. I'll take you, my sweet girl. I love you.